Yeah.
Close enough time?
Yeah.
Okay, let's go. All right, we have a special meeting, it's Tuesday, it's the 30th of July, and we're at City Hall. We have a replat for 109 37th Street, and we will call the public hearing to order and open the floor for those that may be here to speak for that. You are now, the floor is open for either, anybody's got any comments on 109B.
Mayor, I can, the staff report isn't in your packet, so I can run through this, because I think it'll help clear up, there's some confusion
Yeah.
in that report. Essentially, Mr. Brooks and Ms. Tollison, two owners involved, between the two of them, they own four lots. Prior to the storm, each of those lots had a townhome. Now they're wanting to replat those into two lots. One will continue to have a townhome, the other one will have a single-family home. They're not asking for any variances from any of the setbacks, although I do wanna point out, Ms. Tollison had a townhome prior to the storm that was lot line to lot line. The structure was on the property line. The one lot they're splitting next to her, she's gonna take 6 feet of that, Mr. Brooks is gonna take 10 feet for his lot. So she wants to take her structure to that new replatted lot line,
To the 6-foot line.
to the 6-foot line. So I just wanna make sure that's clear, cause that's not stated, in
It's
the
all on
report.
the left of that plat you're looking at. Goes CBA from left to right.
So basically, it's Mr. Brooks will have the original 111C, 37th Street, 109A, and 10 feet from 109B. And that will be replatted into a single lot with a single family home. He's not asking for any variances, he's gonna meet all land development codes. Ms. Tollison will take 6 feet from 109B and combining it with her 109C.
I'm curious, this page, that dotted line represents,
That's Mr. Brooks' home on the lot, that dotted line is his structure, is the footprint, correct, Mr. Brooks?
Looking at it from the front,
front meaning the water,
37th Street.
37. So that, I'm just confused.
It is confusing.
I'll show you something, it's really not, it's just a stupid drawing. Looking at it from the street, this is Pier Road, I did it in red, and there are 2 or 3 that I have here. That's my structure. This is the front road. My original lot, or excuse me, the lot in question is B, see where B is? It's 16 foot wide, all those townhouses are 16 foot wide. So B, she still owns C, which is to the left. B was 16 foot wide, 10 foot of it, she's keeping 6. My structure, closest point is 13.6 on the left, 11 foot on the right. The red structure is the new single family house. Her townhouse now, instead of being 16 foot wide, will be 22 foot. Won't change anything on that.
Okay.
She wants to build to the lot line?
Yes.
Just like
Just
before.
like she was
Just like-
prior to the storm, she was a townhome.
Okay.
The P and Z, board voted 5-0 to approve it last night. Lots of discussion last night.
Yeah, about a lot of things. I think they wanted to know what was going on.
Yeah, got down the weeds a little bit.
Yeah.
Looks good to me.
Helps with the density and it helps with some of the problems that we're gonna have with the townhouses Road, we're trying to all get together. Wayne's part of one of our groups. He's two from Miss Allison down, so we're just all trying to figure out. I always had the end unit. That's the reason why it was a bigger lot anyway. I had the end unit on that end, so it was a double lot from the beginning.
Okay, we're still in the public hearing. Do you have any statement to make other than what you made?
Not really, no, sir. That's,
You hear from Morris Report?
Yeah, I just want to know what's gonna happen to mine.
I got you. Okay,
nothing.
then we're gonna close the public hearing. Well, before we do that, Tanya, is anything to add as part of the record for the public hearing, other than what you're doing?
We've got the report, which will be included.
Okay. All right, we'll close the public hearing, discussion at the table.
I don't have a problem with it. They kinda, to me, they came up with a solution to, a complicated situation.
Yeah, be better than before.
I got a question though. By changing the footprint, does the easements move anywhere on that?
When you say easements, I think you mean setbacks.
Setbacks, I mean, excuse me.
Just,
Well, you've got 10-6,
Well-
11-0, and 13.
He
he's,
does, she won't.
she was lot line to lot line before Mr. Pollock, and with that additional 6 feet, she wants to take that side to the lot line as well. So that would, it's not going back to the original footprint, but she was lot line to
Just
lot
on
line
one
prior,
The,
yeah.
the one on B,
And she was lot line to lot line, like you said, pre.
yes, sir.
The big difference to me is that we get 13.5 feet of side setback
Yes, sir.
Mhm.
that was
That's
not
the
there.
closest. You can see.
Yeah, the closest point.
It's wider as it goes down, but
Any other questions? Any other discussion? Chair will entertain a motion.
I make a motion to approve replat request for 109B South 37th Street.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Call the roll, please.
Mr. Pollock,
Yes.
Mr. Smith,
Yes.
Mayor Kathy,
Yes.
Mr. Wallace,
Yes.
Mr. Butler.
Yes.
Okay. Maddox Canal Development,
Development order, this just needs council approval, we have the DEP exemption certificate, it's been approved by Army Corps, they have all their paperwork, Gina Johnson in the building department, she's reviewed it, and the building department has, approved all the drawings and ensured that they have all of their, appropriate permitting from federal and state agencies. But it requires council approval since it's on our canal.
okay? Is there, any discussion, comment? Chair will entertain a motion.
Yeah, go, Bobby.
He's Mayor Pro
Go,
Tem.
Bobby.
I make a motion to approve the Maddox seawall. So what we do?
Yeah, that's
Close.
second.
Have a motion and a second, call the roll, is there any further discussion? Call the roll, please.
Mr. Pollock,
Yes.
Mr. Smith,
Yes.
Mayor Kathy,
Yes.
Mr. Wallace,
Yes.
Mr. Butler.
Yes.
I want to comment on this, not on this, but at the last meeting, Tanya mentioned that we were gonna look with the building department on sort of streamlining or combining or doing things. To me, this is, I know it's part of the LDR, but I would hope that we would look at this. This is a wall replacement. It's not, I mean, that wall's been there for years.
I agree.
It's actually, they're doing an entirely new seawall.
Well, I know, but there was a wall there and there's a wall there now. Or pieces of it are missing, but for the most part. If we're going, I mean, the way this reads, we are following, what we're doing today is exactly what this says we should do. But I would hope that we would look at this, and if we're doing a wall replacement, those folks are doing that to protect their property, and they're doing us a great service by protecting our canal. I'd like to see us change that where they don't have to do, I mean, they can build a whole house, we don't ever know anything about that. And if they go replace a piece of the seawall, they have to go through this. So I just want to throw that out in the process of looking at things that we can improve on. I think this is an area we could definitely improve on when it comes to a replacement / repair of an existing wall or structure down there that's just my take on that. And
Right.
you and I have had this discussion.
We have.
And I haven't had it at the table, but the fact that this came up today, I wanted to, in that section D, under the canal development order, I think that has room for improvement.
Yeah, and I agree, and that's one we will be looking at. I will tell you that the reason that comes before the council in our research, any development on the canal requires an exemption certificate from DEP and a permit from Army Corps. Because the city owns that canal, anyone who does anything down on that canal, if it hasn't been given exemption by DEP and a permit by the Corps, then the city, since it's our canal, we're in jeopardy of losing any permits for dredging and anything else we have on the canal. We're the owner, we're responsible. And I believe it was established in the LDR this way to ensure that the city dotted our i's and crossed our t's when it came to canal development, to make sure that all the work down there was in compliance. I agree with the mayor, though. I think we could take a look at it and perhaps put this on the building department. But we just need to really think about that carefully. I don't know, go ahead, Mayor.
In conjunction with what you said, the reason this is in here, in 1991, we were on septic tanks. We're not on septic tanks now. And at that time, the biggest issue with the canal was flow from development because of septic tank / drain fields. So some of that, making dotting i's and crossing t's was a requirement at that time because of that.
Well, that was part of it. That wasn't all of it. And if you look at other cities that
I'm sure
have
it was.
city-owned canal, they handle those very carefully because you could jeopardize the city's permits.
Please, don't misinterpret. I don't mean that we shouldn't have some controls. I'm saying that for this guy to do what he's done today is a clear example to me of something that doesn't need to happen.
Yeah, and it would be nice if everyone did what this guy did. He did all the right things. He came in, he had everything together, and it makes it easy. And he just turned this in, I guess it was Friday, one day last week, we were able to get it on the special meeting. But I can tell you, this is the anomaly. This is the first one we've had on the canal that everybody follows the rules and does what we ask them to do. So just, keep that in mind. They're not all this easy.
They should be.
If only we
should
do
be.
the right thing, it would make our jobs a lot
Well,
more.
here we are again. Do the right thing. There's,
That's right.
we can use this one. This isn't an argument between the administrator.
No, it's not.
and
We
me.
agree. We agree.
Okay, now, let's not make it that. All right, miscellaneous. Is there any miscellaneous from anywhere?
I just have I met with Zach Childs this morning about the lots on La La Lane. I have a listing agreement. I'm gonna be, getting with Nick on that, because what we're gonna have to do is, you guys are gonna have to make a decision on what authority you wanna give the city administrator as it relates to those lots. For example, we list them for a certain price. Zach's thinking 65 to 70 each might be a good starting point. But if we get a buyer, a buyer's not gonna wait a week and a half or a week until we have a council meeting. So I'm gonna talk to Nick about that this afternoon, if you guys will just be thinking about, you know, how you wanna handle that, if we get an offer within a certain percentage. Maybe the city administrator has the authority to negotiate that versus, because Zach feels, confident that buyers aren't gonna wait and they'll walk away, they have to wait on the council meeting. So, just be thinking about that and I'll talk to Nick about it, we'll talk more at the next meeting on Tuesday.
Okay, are we gonna clean them up?
We're
Get
gonna
that
just
concrete out of there?
remove the concrete. Mhm.
Okay, it's
I
still
think
there.
it's a big plus.
All right, anything else? Motion for adjournment?
So move. Brooks, who's gonna build the house? Have you got a builder yet?
I am all asking you to
He is.
I am.
Kind of a jack of
Are
all
you
trades.
busy? Are you busy?
I'm waiting on 4 or 5 plans, but
I'm back home.
I'm open for,
I didn't know that.
This application.
I'll give you my number if you wanna send me a plan or whatever you want. I'd love to send out.
Yes.
You can just sign that for me.
I
have one of those for you too, Jerry.
Just gonna go fast. Good to see you, sir.
We'll leave it right here.
Just call me whenever you want to run or whatever you want to do.
There's one for you too. Okay. It's on the 26th, so check your calendar, if that works for you, then I'll schedule for all of us to go.
What did they say?
Keep putting on the
They've never decided.
That is the ethics class. I got
You
an
need to
email
go
about
out.
He
it.
did call yesterday asking about the generators, because that's the only unresolved thing. And of course, the generators are gone
You
and
weren't
removed.
able to get yours free, were you? An ethics class?
Yeah, it's not-
No,
You paid
my
for it.
city paid that.
Maybe it was $100.
But nobody asked if they could remove
They
it.
also solution, so.
I don't
Will it
know.
work?
When he said on one side.
Probably, but that was when we were waiting to hear if they
It
were.
should cover the
Because
year.
the insurance had to find out if they work, so I finally said, do they work or not? And they said they're out.
Right, year we take, you take it.
They don't.
But then we couldn't test them, because we couldn't get that answer.
Yeah, it's an annual thing.
I saw
But-
that.
Salt and
I saw that on the.
They should
Yeah, but
automatically.
I know when I went,
show
they,
those.
it was done by the state, no charge.
I'll look into that, see if I can.
Check into that.
Okay.
Well, when I went, they done it by the city. So, yes. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
with no fee.
So I included
Well, I
that,
assume,
but I did tell
I'm making
them
that